Hello and welcome to a basic guide on how to run a decent little stress test for your new notebooks. Maybe you want to see if it's overheating, maybe you got a new one and want to test its limits, or you're doing this because I asked you to on the Suggest a Laptop Discord. Either way, here's what to do. First, you'll need IDA 64. Let's start with this. Under Tools, when you open it, you go to System Stability Test and it'll open up this window. You can just minimize this for the time being, you don't need it. Make sure that CPU, FPU, cache, and system memory are ticked for the stress test. And what you want to do is going to go to the unified setting. So if you see here, the graph looks pretty crowded. You might not think it looks good. Let's fix that. So hit Preferences, and you're going to go to Unified again. You have to use the Unified tab because this is the only tab that will allow you all of the data that you need to see. So you want your voltage, your power draw, and your core and your package temperatures. If you want to add the other cores, feel free, though I don't really think it's that necessary. Arduino 64 will take care of that. So we have CPU clock speed, we have CPU temperatures, and core. Let's say you want to add the GPU inside as well. So let's pick a color that you like and pick something. So let's say I want this to be my GPU temperature. I want this to be my GPU clock speed, so people can see that. Let's pick GPU clock. Yeah, here we go. GPU 1 clock megahertz. Right? So again, the graph looks crowded. What you want to do is you want to kill the max value from 200 down to 100. What this will do is this will spread out more, and you'll be able to see, separations a little bit better. You'll be able to tell which is which. Always remember that if you want, you can click on something and just click off it. You don't need to see everything on the graph if you want to determine where something was at one point. There you go. Right? So now that you have this up, the next thing to do would be to open Hardware Info 64. When it starts, make sure you tick Sensors Only and then hit Run. And let's just wait for this to start. Perfect. Now this is up, I would say you probably want to drag this down so that it takes up more real estate and thus can show you more data. And then you probably want to expand this. Right, so you click the expand button. Note that you can't scroll down on any expanded window. It must show whatever the default stuff is. So you expand twice to get all the relevant CPU data, and then you scroll down until you find your video card. So this video card is the one that we're interested in. The final program is Unigine Heaven, but I have not allowed it to use SLI. So this is the only one that we need to focus on, and you likely just won't even have another GPU here at all. If you do, it will be Intel, which again you can ignore. So let's focus on this one for the time being. Again, sorry for any possible fan noise. My fans are at max, which is something you should do as well. And let's get ready. So the first thing you might notice is this is updating quite slowly, which is correct. I want to click the gear, and here is the polling rate. This is set by default to update once every 2 seconds. What you want to do is you want to update it once a second, twice a second, maybe 3 or 4 times a second. So you change this. I'm going to use twice a second for 500. If you want to use 3 times a second, you use 333. But I'm going to keep this at 5. And this is how many times it polls your disk and how many times it polls your embedded controller. You don't want to poll these too much, so I'm going to change them to poll every 2 global polling. Every 2 global pollings. This means that they will only poll once a second, right? And the important thing is you hit set. Note again, if you're going to do faster than twice a second for general polling, change these numbers to reflect. So if I change to 333, I'm going to want to put this at 3, right? But I'm just going to hit OK. Now, again, because I didn't hit set after I made those last changes, they haven't taken effect when I hit OK. You have to make sure that you hit set if you want to change. So let's just leave this here. We got our GPU data. It's up and ready. Now we start Unigine Heaven. You can use Unigine Valley if you want. You want to copy these settings: ultra quality, extreme tessellation, ATEX and anti-aliasing, and no full screen. The no full screen part is pretty important. You want to be able to see the rest of the data while everything is going on. And resolution 1600 by 900. Of course, if you have a high resolution monitor and you can still let it get more space at, say, I don't know, 1080p or 4K. If you have a 4K, you can use 1440p. The main thing is that it's running in the background and you can still see the other stuff. Even if you have a window like this over it, you'll still be able to see. So let's start this first. Hit run. It'll open up. Let's wait for it to actually show up properly. There we go. It's here and it started. I'm just going to drag it off to the little corner over here. And then I'm going to pull up IDA 64. So we're on the Unified. We have everything ready. And we're just going to hit start and then instantly hit this clock down here in hardware info. What the clock will do is the clock will actually kill the previous data that you have, so that the only data on hardware info is your stress test. Alright, here we go. The only data here is the stress test. Then we can pull up Heaven and IDA on it and just watch. As you can see, IDA is a little bit laggy as I move it around because my system is being maxed out. If you are going to use IDA to check all of your data though, you can shrink hardware info back and just keep it watching your CPU, and then you can have, you can have a lot more on the screen at one time, I should say. So here's a good way to do it. Make sure that you're not throttling. You can see the voltage running through it, your GPU clock speed, your GPU temperatures, your CPU temperatures. Oh, it looks to me like the clocks and the wattage are actually overlapping each other. That's a bit funny. You're gonna want to run this test for a minimum of 15 minutes just to let things actually heat up. I'm not gonna run it for a whole 15 minutes here, and I also suggest you don't have all these million things open like I do. But this is just a demonstration test, so I'm not gonna close, I don't know, 200 tabs every time I try to record a video. Sorry. Anyway, right, so you watch it, you make sure if you see dangerous overheating, like 100 degrees hits or anything like that, instantly stop it. Just don't even wait. If you really see your processors just sticking to like 100 degrees and not going anywhere. Alright, well, this should be good enough for the time being. As you can see, temperature is indeed a slow climb. No matter what system you have, it'll be a slow climb. There will be a point where it stops rapidly increasing and slowly goes, which is why you want all the time to expand. You can see the elapsed time here and the time since your last reset right here. Okay, so with that done, when you're done, you take your pictures and all that, get all the data you want, hit stop. You can take the data from IDA. Here's the test data. You close that, and when you're ready, you close this. And you're good to go. You can then check hardware info for all the data you want. Yeah, see? Alright. There we go. That's all you need to know. So, thanks for watching. Have a good time. And I guess I'll see you next time. Close this. Close this. Close this. And goodbye.